Welcome to the Eisenstein Effect.
I'm your host, Vickie Eisenstein, and this is my guest,
Padraic Connelly.
So Padraic, tell me about yourself. Where are you from? What's your sign?
I'm originally from the wonderful, bustling metropolis of Daytona Beach, Florida.
What?
Home of the Daytona Cubs.
Is that where the cars race around?
Yeah, I was actually born like a 5-minute drive from the Speedway.
Did your parents want you to be a race car driver?
No. I actually don't know. It's funny, I start to realize more and more, I have no idea what my parents' dreams were for me.
Really?
Oh, their whole thing, like even when I was like, I'm going to college to become an actor, they were like, oh, okay.
There was no strong emotion.
Well, they were very supportive.
Okay.
But it's only just now occurring to me that there was no point in my life that they were like, we want you to take over the family business. It was always like, what do you want to do? I want to do this. Cool.
Is there a part of you that's kind of like, I didn't have those expectations pushing me?
Maybe.
We get really deep in here, by the way.
I know. Yeah. On the other hand, where I am now is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So if anything, I'm kind of grateful for the fact that I got to decide to do something really stupid with my life, and it's all working out great. My biggest fear in life is that one day someone I'm going to be like on a gig or like doing something where like I'm like dressed up like as a piece of food product for like a trade show or something.
Yes.
And someone's going to go, hey, he's having fun with that, get him! And then they're going to like refuse to pay me, where it's like, you got paid in joy.
No! Contracts! You owe me money!
I know, but that's my fear. Like every time I'm on a gig, I'm pulling a con. I'm tricking everybody.
Do you have any rituals that you do before performing?
I used to have this thing where like before every show I did at I.O., I had this like super strict ritual, which is like I would leave my place and I would walk all the way from, I would like walk like 6 blocks and I would go to the Cozy Cafe. And I would sit there and I would order a plate of pad see ew, and I would eat half the pad see ew, get the rest to go, because you don't want to be full for a show.
No, you can't.
And then I would stop at the Starbucks and I would get a double espresso, and then I would go to I.O. just in time for call. And I did that for like 2.5 years. Like that was every single week. That's exactly what I did. And then I realized.
Did that change if you were dating someone, or like that person would join you on that adventure?
Well, once I was dating someone, we were living together up in Rogers Park, and the ritual then became, oh my God, I'm 20 minutes late for the show!
So that ruined your ritual.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It was nice having that like kind of shock of like, oh, I can still do a good show if I don't do my half plate of pad see ew and double espresso. Also, looking back on it, I did some terrible shows when I had half a plate of pad see ew and a double espresso.
So, Broadway aspirations?
At one point, that happened before.
Yeah.
The closest I ever got was I worked on a cruise ship doing Hairspray, the Broadway musical.
That's cool.
In the middle of the ocean.
That's basically Broadway on water.
Yep. That's how they saw
That's what you should put on your resume, Broadway on water, but the on water is in tiny little print with like parentheses around it.
Broadway, parentheses, Mid-Atlantic.
You are a very polite person, aren't you?
I guess so.
Does that get you in trouble ever?
I
stayed so long talking to your doorman because I thought I had to. I never got up here. So, I mean, do you ever find yourself in similar situations?
Oh, only at jobs I've had. I used to work for a coffee company, and I can't even imagine, like looking back on it, how much money I cost that company by me going, well, here's a free drink.
I notice a lot of science fiction and Sherlock. Like, so tell me about this.
The science fictions of like the Stephen Kings and the Patrick Rothfuss and the Scott Lynch stuff. Those are all just people recommend stuff, and then I pass no judgments on whether or not it's actually going to be a good purchase. I'm like, what is that? Bye. And so I just buy whatever people tell me to, and then I read it, and then it sits on that shelf until someone asks to borrow it.
So you're not particularly into science fiction?
Oh,
or anything?
I totally am.
Okay.
I got hooked on, I think like a lot of people, my gateway drug was Douglas Adams.
Okay, yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide and all that.
And because that was like, this is the funniest thing that's ever been written, and nothing will ever top it. And maybe there's been funnier things written, but like for like a kid in middle school who's like it's like, oh, this is the first thing I'm choosing to read that hasn't been assigned to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, it makes your brain explodes. Oh, I watch a lot of like reality television. Well, actually, that's a lie. I watch So You Think You Can Dance, and then they always have it on the like the survival channel down in the laundry room here.
Okay.
So anytime I'm doing laundry, I'm always like, so that's what would happen if I was in the rainforest. Hi there, I'm Padraic Connelly, and this is Stranded in a Desert Dwelling.
Tell us, Padraic, how are you going to be the longest surviving person here in this desert dwelling?
First off would be finding a source of water. The way you do that is by finding a cactus and taming that cactus. You have to break that cactus and show that cactus who's boss and get it to trust you. Once you've done that, you can cut off a small piece of the cactus and suck out the moisture that it has stored inside over its 70-year lifespan, being a saguro cactus in this part of the world. Now, once you've found a source of water, you need food. You have to find another cactus, this one who has not seen you injure the previous cactus, because it will not trust you if it knows what you have done to its brethren in Sistren. You need to get that cactus, lure it in, perhaps with some moisture that you've collected from the previous cactus. Once you've gained its trust, you need to sneak up behind it. Now be careful, because if there's anything a cactus has, it's natural defenses. Needles and wiles. Just when you think you snuck up behind it, you realize you're actually looking it right in the face, because you can't tell which direction a cactus is facing until it's too late. Once you've gotten your food from the prickly pears on that cactus, this one being a prickly pear, not a saguro cactus, you enjoy the fruits of your labor by setting them out to capture wildlife.
I've always wanted to be the voice on the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2층입니다. Oh, sorry, that's in Korean. Second floor. Doors opening.
If you ever have the chance, now I actually don't want to say if you ever have the chance, because that means there's probably something wrong, because it's at the Northwestern Memorial Hospital Pavilion. But in their like giant medical pavilion towers, like all the doctors have their office, like private offices. The elevators there are the most seductive elevators you will ever hear. Where it's like 7th floor. One of my favorite improv bits, which I've been trying to sell as like a game to play in short form shows.
Yes.
Is Harold Pinter scenes, which is where you do a normal scene.
Yeah.
Just like a normal conversation, but like the great American player Harold Pinter, at various points, a character will just take a very meaningful pause for no reason.
I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Oh, what's on the shelf there? So,
Sherlockiana?
Sure. Sherlockiana, the Encyclopedia Sherlockiana.
Okay. This is a very nice used bookstore.
Absolutely. You know, there's something about used bookstores that just, it's so relaxing. Like, you can just feel like these aren't just mass-produced things. It's just things that people loved at some point.
Yes, like there's this first edition copy right here of Sherlock Holmes.
First edition Sherlock Holmes? That's something I haven't seen in years.
Gerald, please take a look at that. I think it's an autograph from Sherlock Holmes.
That's amazing! I always thought that Sherlock Holmes was an invention of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle based off of a medical professor from Edinburgh University. I didn't know there was a real Sherlock Holmes.
Gerald, you have so much to learn.
I know. I thought there was so much I knew about the world, but I guess I don't. What great handwriting, though.
Oh, look, it's a book about Star Trek.
Huh, and a used bookstore. Seems like it would be a little more modern.
This is very interesting.
Is there another autograph? Who? Is it autographed by Star Trek?
Close! It is autographed by Jean-Luc Picard.
What's the publication date of this book? 2256!
I'm having an attack of the heart.
This isn't even a used bookstore. This is a pre-used bookstore.
Have we stumbled upon the only pre-used bookstore in the country or world or universe?
Yes.
Why don't you look at that pile of books beside you?
Well, that's probably just some bargain bin books. The only thing in here is How I Won the Presidency by Donald Trump.
Burn it! Cast it away! Cast it away! You've been to the flames before! We all are cast into the flames.
I just feel bad about getting rid of a book like this, unless there was another copy. You know, I can't just get rid of a book.
You have to! It is possessing you.
I do feel like we're spending too much money on libraries and public services, and that the tax rate for my bracket is a little too high.
You must get rid of the demon!
Sorry!
And scene. That was fun. Do you have another game you like that's fun?
Let's do a Half-Life scene.
Oh!
Or countdown.
Yes!
So we'll have to estimate.
Yeah, or we can use the thing.
Great.
The marvelous technologies of the day.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What's our suggestion? Audience?
I heard ukulele.
Ukulele? Not ukulele? Gosh, audience, work on your pronunciation.
Yeah.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, Minkamook. That is a beautiful ukulele sound today.
Thanks, Pam.
I like using your adopted Hawaiian name.
Oh, it makes me feel more at home here. Yeah, I've always felt like an outsider in my time, but bit by bit, I feel like I've been managing
Here's
to...
the bigger one.
The guitar?
Yes.
All right.
Use the bigger one.
All right. The upright cello. Not a problem. Okay. Here we go. This is a traditional Hawaiian
Wait,
folk
the bigger one. Oh.
Piano!
Oh. I'm so sorry. John, I forgot your Hawaiian name.
It's fine.
I can't move it. Oh, no, I'm under it. Oh, no. Are we at time? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice one.
So last scene, are we at time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 30 seconds. Here we go.
Mikamuku, lovely ukulele, but you should
thank
use
you.
the bigger one.
Oh, thanks, Pam. Oh,
You're
a guitar. Is this a Fender Stratocaster? I really like the sound.
Use the bigger one.
Oh, the upright cello. Wonderful. I've always wanted to play the Bach cello suite.
Use this big thing.
Oh,
No, you're under it.
a Steinway.
It's falling on me.
I'll help.
I can't get up. I'm dead.
Time. All right, 15 seconds. Here we go.
Mikamuku,
like
use the bigger one.
Oh, the guitar. Wonderful.
Use the bigger one.
Oh, a bass fiddle.
Use the biggest one.
Oh, 3 grand pianos all stacked up. Bam! Cool, time! That was 16 seconds. Went 1 second over. All right, we can do this. We can do this. 7 seconds. We got this. 7 seconds.
Okay, we can only take this big one.
Oh, double bass.
The bigger one.
Oh, it's I'm moving a piano tuner. Time! Awesome.
I think that was really great. I think we managed it.
I couldn't think of anything bigger than a piano, so I just got crushed by a piano tuning man.
Yeah, so our last thing is plugs.
Oh, yeah. So, a few plugs. One, every Saturday at 8 o'clock at the IO Theater, the show Whirled News Tonight. I also do shows at Comedy Sports. So if you want to see a comedy sports show, they're on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Those are my 2 big things.
Cool. Should they follow you on Twitter or?
Oh, I never tweet, but I do have a Twitter account at Padraic Connelly. Like me on Facebook, even though I don't have a business page.
Please watch. Every week there's a new guest, there's new fun. You can see updates on Twitter at Eisenstein EFCT, or you can go to my personal Twitter page at Vickie Ironstone. Bye!